Hello and welcome to the Heights Unedited podcast as I sip out of my brand new Heights Unedited mug.
Ooh, where did you get said mug?
From one of our viewers slash listeners. I don't know if they view or listen, but they
I like the way you had
us.
the lip snarl as you're like one of our viewers. I can't even do it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's got a photo on it. I don't know if our viewers can see
The other
this
side's
right
better
now, our
looking of the
listeners.
bald eagle.
All right, there we go. We got both.
Yep.
With a little logo name down
The
it.
logo.
Right there. Loving it.
Is that a trademark violation?
Not sure, but
Beard,
very
is that
appreciative
is
of
that
this.
is that a trademark violation?
As I take a sip out of this wonderful drink, you know what I realized though? I was laughing when we were about to hit record for a couple of reasons. One, you were singing at the top of your lungs.
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, that was happening. The other is, if I were to be sipping this, I have to kiss your forehead to sip it. That just made me laugh. Real quick,
I have to do the same.
There you go.
What the heck?
But
I can't drink.
I can't have any coffee now.
I'm done.
I got you.
I want to drink left-handed the whole time.
Now you have to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome to the Heights Unedited podcast, a podcast featuring real conversations about real life, where we dig deeper into the weekend message, as well as answering your questions on faith, culture, and
Is
life.
it better to kiss my forehead or your forehead?
Yeah,
I don't know
I
what's
messed you
more
up.
weird.
I messed you up for the rest of the show.
Man, I'm going to go like on the logo.
now in the middle. There you go.
Caitlin Clark's better from the logo.
Wow. Okay.
You like that?
You throwing in
Come
sports
on.
references.
Sports-
Well, since you went there,
No, that's an insurance reference.
we have
It's a commercial.
We have a new world champion in F1.
Oh my gosh.
We do.
Okay. Did you see the race?
I did.
The most anticlimactic moment. They
Third place.
build it up. The race was just boring.
Oh, yeah.
The race, nothing happened.
Which is kind of crazy, though, because...
Which is great for Lando.
Yeah. If he crashes, it's over. If he, whatever. There was one little moment where he could have got a penalty, but then he didn't. And
I was impressed.
Yeah.
Charles kept trying. He gave his best.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, congratulations to Lando. Congratulations, Rachel.
Yep.
It's the only
Win.
time I will say it.
I will say, so we know McLaren has the best car, right? Just as
Yeah, you have the best car.
by far. I mean,
Not this race.
constructors,
Not this race.
constructors, they won by
this
a
race.
million points. Like it wasn't even close.
A million.
Literally, they were like.
I mean,
double
if
the
Red Bull
next
had another
closest.
driver, it'd be helpful.
Okay, but is it the drivers of the car? Here's what I would say: is that's what makes Max more impressive. Is that their car is not the fastest, evidenced by the fact that the other drivers like nowhere to be found. So it shows that Max is just that good to be driving a car that's subpar compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
And yet still getting the places that he's getting.
Yeah, he's insane. He really is that good. However, they've also built a car around him.
That's true.
So
So
I'd be
he's driving a
curious,
car for him. And
And you can see it, right? Like Hamilton goes to Ferrari and Hamilton, 7-time world champion, can't drive the Ferrari. You're like, what? It's so weird, but Charles is doing just fine.
Yeah.
And so I just think it's so interesting how, like, when you switch cars, like you would think world champion move over instantly is going to compete because he's in Ferrari.
Yeah.
And he's nowhere this year, right? Because they're trying to figure out the car for his driving. I think that's what's really interesting then, because I was thinking about this yesterday. So Oscar and Lando, do they have the same driving style?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The car is built for like them, but also you look at Red Bull when it was a couple years ago.
Right.
And they were first and second in every race too.
Right.
So that was also still happening.
First by 45 seconds and then Checo coming along. I like Checo a lot. I'm super excited. He's Cadillac next year.
Yeah.
So if you're not a fan of Formula One, you should be, clearly.
There you go. Lots to talk about there.
Rachel is very excited.
She's
I'm sure your house is.
Oh, she was so excited.
And her cult following is. I talked to Patrick yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And now his girls are into it. He was telling me.
Yeah,
so I'm assuming
she's
that's
winning.
Rachel's
Oh
influence.
yeah, of course. 100%.
Bailey is full blown doing fantasy F1 with her friend. So it's good.
That's good. It's good. Okay. Well,
It helps
we
that
got our
there's
sports
cute boys in the sport.
Yeah, I know. Someone was telling me they were like looking at it. They're like, is every driver good looking? Of course women are into the sport. Like, what is this? So we've done our sports wrap up. Now we got
if you have no clue what we're
Oreo.
talking about, Google George Russell.
There you go. Google F1. Okay.
Handsome
Here we go.
Englishman.
Another Englishman won, by the way.
I know that was the only
Lando.
saving grace.
There you go.
Okay, I got to ask you just because we're on it. Zach Brown.
He's such a dummy. Dude.
I can't stand him, dude.
He's
like
such
I would love to be super excited. Lando's already borderline for me. Like there's things he does that I'm just like I don't like. But Zach Brown is like I can't root for you no matter what.
Yeah, that guy is cringe. He's
like Oscar is dying inside and he's on the radio going, "Yeah, great job, Oscar." It's like, okay, bro. Like a little sensitivity, a little empathy.
He's cringe for sure. Okay, we've been saving this Oreo product. I think this is the last one we have, which
the last of the Oreo products.
Brings me to a point that we need to bring up right now. This is actually the last episode of 2025.
I thought you were going to say forever. We've run out of Oreos.
Not forever.
We're done.
Well, last Oreo product.
Last one of 2025.
Except for a little surprise happening New Year's Eve or New Year's service. I don't know, it's not New Year's Eve, but you know.
Yeah.
But last one of 2025. We are off next week. The reason we are off next week is because I will be in the Dominican Republic.
Yes, you will.
Heading out there with Pastor Bob. We're going to do some training for Casa Misionera students. And
how many hours of teaching
it's
you
going to be
doing?
awesome. Oh my gosh.
I heard it's a bunch.
The chunk of time. I mean, I've done a lot of speaking over my life, but never have I been given a chunk of time to go, hey, can you preach to us for 3 hours? I'm like, what? So I literally am working on what I do for 3 hours.
You're going to come back and never hit your timer again.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, whoa. Like, so I'll be gone next week. And then we have Christmas prep going on, Christmas happening.
Well, that following week, I mean, that's like, we're right there.
We're right there.
The next day is Christmas services.
Yeah. And so this is the last episode of 2025, which means we got our last Oreo product of the year. We've been sitting on this one. It is called Cakesters.
Oh boy. I got to be honest with you. I've seen this one on your desk for a while.
Yeah.
I have two thoughts. One, they have never appealed. Like the cake, you call something Cakesters. That's like
it's Cakesters, double chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolatey cake with chocolate flavor cream.
Second question is, how does a cake sit on your desk that long and still
not go bad?
Cake.
Well, we're about to find out.
I bet it's not crunchy.
Oh, it smells very
Oreo?
Nope. Smells very.
Oh boy.
Here, just take one out of there. Dropping that. It's a heavy little guy.
Look at that guy.
It smells very preservative. That's what I would say.
Oh yeah.
like heavy,
oh yeah. It smells like
heavy preservative on the nose.
Is it have I got the right smell? Little Debbie?
Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of
like how's that feel? But chocolate Little Debbie.
Yep. Chocolate Deb. Here you go. Take a bite. Let me know what you think out of the Cakester.
A Chalky Deb. Here we go.
Here we go. No crunch to it, which is good, I guess, because I don't know if you want your cake to crunch.
No crunch.
No crunch. So we don't know how to describe it now that there's no crunch.
You can't hear it.
It also doesn't fit in the regular Oreo category. So, we're not ranking this among the other Oreos. It's just an Oreo product. So that's where we're going with it. And it was given to us. So we had to, follow through. What do you think?
So think of, is it Ding Dongs? Except chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the like soft filling in the middle, right? That doesn't taste anything like Oreo. And then you got the chocolate, lots of chocolate cake.
Yeah.
Like if cake is your jam, Cakesters are your Oreo version of Little Debbie.
Definitely not an Oreo.
No.
Nothing
not
about
even close.
Says Oreo, gives any hint of Oreo.
It might as well be a Reese's.
Not even close to that either. But it's
2026.
It's not bad. Are you throwing it out? Are you doing it? Hey, I'm fine with it, but you're the one.
Okay, I got two challenges for everybody for 2026.
Okay.
Your favorite coffee, and Todd is going to drink coffee.
Bro, you can't throw that out. I will have a heart attack and die.
No, you don't have to drink the whole thing. Just take a sip. The beard will make it. He makes it good.
Okay.
And then your favorite coffee that you think will swing Todd to a coffee drinker.
I don't like coffee. So,
and I don't like Reese's.
Okay.
So bring your Reese's.
Reese's. Okay, there it is.
If you think you can sway me with a Reese's product, let's go.
Okay. All right, there's your challenge for that. As we wrap up 2025, though, and we're heading into Christmas, I do want to ask you some Christmas questions. that are more of a personal nature. Meaning,
did we do trivia last year?
We did. We did some Christmas trivia last year. This year, I'm just asking you, what is your favorite Christmas song and or, so you can give two answers or one or the other, Christmas song or movie? Favorite Christmas song?
Either or
movie.
Either or.
Or and. Give me both if you want.
I think Elf. I like Elf.
Okay.
Every time I don't watch movies a second time around very often. It has to be. But so in our house, it hasn't happened for a few years. But when the older girls were younger and everybody was home, they wouldn't put up the tree till Thanksgiving weekend, I think it was. But they would always watch Elf, like as they put it up. But Elf is like a staple in our house. Yeah. It's just so good.
Love Elf, definitely. But I would say,
don't say Die Hard.
No, probably edges it out a little bit is Santa Claus with Tim Allen, the first one.
Oh yeah, that's a great movie.
That's probably my favorite. And then Elf is up there. I love Elf.
Yeah,
but Santa Claus, so good.
Yeah. Is Rachel Hallmark?
No, not really Hallmark.
Okay, yeah. Lucky.
I know. I win that.
You just wait till those girls get older.
Yeah, we haven't introduced them to that yet, so they don't know. Okay, let me ask you this.
I'm gonna have to invite them over.
Oh boy! Don't you dare
just open Pandora's box.
Them. Yeah. Favorite Christmas tradition, or do you have a Christmas tradition that is maybe different than anyone else?
Probably not different than anybody else. I think the best Christmas tradition we have is all of our kids want to come home for Christmas. And so that's probably our favorite, is just that everybody will be home, and probably less on the Christmas tradition side and more on the what we enjoy about is the week after, right? Because obviously with church world, you push hard to Christmas, but then once Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, when you close the garage door, it's like, okay, now we're home for an extended. And they, like this year, my daughter from California and her husband, Jake, they're coming out and we'll be there through the new year. And so it's just this like really cool, okay, we just get time. And then it'll be movies, games, like all the things, football, everything in between. Nice. So yeah,
that's awesome. We've talked about it on the show before, but man, holidays for pastors are difficult because we're working. And so Christmas is usually exhausted, waking up after putting in 4 or 5 15-hour days in a row in order to get to Christmas. And so it just makes it a little bit different, difficult. I would say something that's unique and I hope stays the same for my girls as they get older. But even my older ones that are in middle school, their favorite part is Christmas Eve services at church. And they're there from, they're putting in 10-hour days too.
Yeah.
And they love it. I mean, I was driving with my daughter down to her soccer tournament this weekend, and she was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for Christmas services.
Yeah.
Because she just hangs out all day. She serves in different areas. She sees her friends. She goes in. I mean, just the whole experience.
She's like, Dad, they have cookies for 7 hours.
Yeah, right. She's like, I don't know how many she has, but man, that could contribute to it.
No, it is cool. I think it's special when from the church world, when your kids enjoy things at church. Because it could be really easy to go the other way, right? Like we know plenty of people where it was the opposite, right? Like you just become bitter and angry. Right. And so, I think anytime, I'm the same way. Anytime my kids, like even hearing them talk about what area we're going to serve in, I think the girls are going to do the cookie decorating. And so just even that is just fun to see them stepping in and being excited to do it. But
yeah, that's cool. Okay, well, we do have a question coming in that's on Christmas and asking you this more specifically on the church side of it. Anonymous asked this: what are you hoping God does at our Christmas gatherings this year? They're always fun and inviting, but always a little bit different. What is your hope and maybe prayer that you're asking God for when it comes to our church family and Christmas this year?
Yeah, I think we've kind of given it away this year in that it's a whole church effort. Like I think a lot of times in the past, it's there's groups of people that are working very hard to pull Christmas together. Versus this year, it really doesn't. Like we can do everything we do, but if people don't show up to hear the good news, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Right? Like we've missed our target, so to speak. So I think this year the hope and the prayer is that people that need good news, God gets them in the room.
Yeah.
And that they genuinely get to we'll talk about this specifically at Christmas, but the idea of good news brings great joy. And so seeing people that need joy, that need hope, I think that's really is. And what's unique this year, I would say, that we're building towards, and even next week builds towards, is the idea of our church family. I think my dream scenario, like if I was to give you the best like story that I can imagine, or not that I can imagine, but one of the best stories to come from it would be that somebody has to attend all 6 gatherings because they invited 6 different people and they all said yes.
That'd be awesome.
And so for them to make it personal, they showed up at a different service every time for the person they're inviting. So it becomes less about our church family and their attending of Christmas and more about who God is stirring and bringing and being on. I mean, we talk about it a lot, but that kingdom mission, right? Like,
so how important is the invite this year? I mean, we've talked about it from stage a couple times now, and we're going to lean a little more heavy into it as we work even closer to Christmas. But how important is that invite?
I think it's so important because this year isn't the other years past. It's been, yes, it's personal in that I'm giving you this piece of paper with the information, but this year is, no, I've asked God who's in my circle, right? And so by name, your name made the list. Then I've been diligent to pray, like we talked about this week, been diligent to pray for that person. And now I'm going to go out on a limb and personally by name go, will you come with me?
Yeah.
Will you attend with me? Will you join me? Whatever. And so I think the invite is so powerful. Going back to what you kicked off with week 1, right? Like, what was it? 8 out of 10 are just waiting for somebody.
Just waiting for an invite.
Yeah. And so to have an invite that's also, I've been preparing for weeks. And in some cases, like our church is on mission, right? So they've been preparing for years for this moment, right? Like they've been doing the same job for how long and praying for the people around them. And God stirs this year to go invite them. And so that invite and then everything that's being created around is designed for whoever you invited to just slowly enjoy the night with them. So whether that's a bowl of soup at the bistro or a conversation naturally happens, or you go, another one would be the family picture, right? Like the family picture is normally about our family and, get it for mom.
Yeah.
This year is how sweet of a memory is it for the person who you invited that maybe doesn't have family near or becomes part of your family this Christmas. And that's the memory created, right? Like that's the awesome photo that you're sharing now with them after the event going, thanks for coming. Thanks for being a part of this with us. And they look at that picture and go, well, I was part of your family for the night. Right. Like I just think there's so much power in that, in the sense of inviting in and people belonging.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm super excited for Christmas and for what God is going to do through it. I mean, we've been praying through it. We've been in anticipation, and just to see what God does is amazing. As we have been leading up in this idea of Advent, where is preparation for Christmas. And what we talked about this week is the role that prayer plays in our life and the role that prayer plays when it comes to these people that we've written on our list and praying for them, bringing their name before God as well. And one of the things that was said this weekend by Pastor Ben was prayer is a privilege.
Yeah.
Why is this so important for us to understand that prayer is a privilege?
Shout out to Ben in the morning of Bama.
Oh, I know.
He showed up and he still did amazing.
Yeah.
He did so good this weekend. It was fun to see him this weekend. He felt more like the Ben I would grab coffee with. Like he felt more relaxed, felt more in his own skin, so to speak, as a communicator. And so I just think it translated so well.
That's
awesome. The message was so good. I would say the privilege idea. So I'm reading a book right now and it talks about it's a quote from, I don't remember. It's a famous quote, so somebody's going to know it. But the idea of to know God, I have to know myself, and to know myself is to know God, right? And so the idea behind that, and specifically with prayer, if I don't know myself without prayer, then I don't know what a gift it is to have prayer. And so the idea of like, we don't deserve it.
Yeah.
To be able to boldly go before the throne of God and ask anything, like to boldly go before the throne and just not be dead, right? Like
Yeah.
to not be incinerated, to not be.
It's a privilege in itself.
It's a privilege in itself. Then to be able to go and before the God who is capable of doing anything, the God who isn't lacking in any way, shape, or form, right? To then go, would you move and do this?
Yeah.
And to know that he's not only invited us into that, but he loves that engagement with us. Like that, I mean, when you think about a privilege, what a gift. And yet I'll be honest, I don't view it that way. I don't sit in that. I don't go, oh my gosh, what a gift.
Well, and I think we forget what privilege it is. Each one of the points that were made this weekend kind of flow into one another, because the privilege is that we have direct access to all power.
Yeah.
Right. Prayer is tapping into the power source, right?
Yeah.
It's plugging into the power source. If God is all powerful and we have direct access to ask the all powerful God to move with his power, when we have access to it, that's a privilege, right? So these all kind of work together, but I think we forget and maybe diminish either his power and just don't realize it, or we just like ignore what it is because we get caught up in the everyday, just the mundane of life and forget like, dude, you have access to the all-powerful God.
Yeah.
Like, how crazy is that?
Well, and it's even down to, how many people go, oh, I wish I was Solomon, right? I wish I could ask for what Solomon had. Well, you get to James and he goes, hey, if you lack wisdom,
ask
the source of wisdom.
Yeah.
You have that ability to walk into the very throne room. And, I think that's where the Bible does such a phenomenal job, the gift that God's given us of looking and going, they didn't have access. Right. They couldn't go into the presence of God, right? Like they were divided by a curtain. They were divided by rooms. They were divided by roles. They were, and here we are in James and he's like, yeah, average John from Stoke-on-Trent, England, that grew up in a bricklayer family. You know what I mean? Like you get to roll right into the throne room and go, hey, I'm really lacking wisdom here. Could you help me out?
Yeah.
And he goes, he'll be faithful to give it to you, right? Like if you lack, ask.
Yeah.
And I think that's the piece we miss is just that we've been given that anytime we want it.
Yeah. And do you think that the misunderstanding of that, the privilege, but also the misunderstanding of the power is why we don't pray as much as we should? Because I think most people, if they're honest, would say like, yeah, I don't pray as much as I should.
Yeah.
Like, do you think it's that misunderstanding of the privilege and the power of prayer is why we don't do it?
I think if you go back to even that quote that I said, right? Like that if I don't understand who I am. So when I lose sight of who I am, I'm not powerful, right? Like I am lacking. And yet how many times do I live like I am powerful and I can do this, I can pull this off, right? And so I think what happens is we can get an overinflated view of self and what we can do. Therefore, because we can do so much, we don't ask or rely on the power that God has, right? So we minimize God's because we inflate ourselves.
Right.
Versus you put a thing of life in front of somebody that they know they can't change. And instantly, what do? I'm not powerful. You're powerful. God, we need you to show up, right? Like, so the framing of a life event all of a sudden frames me as well, which then changes my view of God to where I correct perspective God, right? So I think it's living in this tension of life can become so mundane. One week can click to the next.
Right.
And we really don't live in a sense of God, if you don't show up, right? Like we've been talking about it, the faith versus sight thing, right? Like you look at the baseball team and you've said it well, like, okay, I could probably reach 2 or 3 of them, but what is it, 41 of them?
Yeah.
I can't do that. And so instantly it pulls you out of the, okay, here's what Todd can do. And God, no, you've got to do it, right? And if you use me in the process, awesome. I don't care how it happens. You just have to do it. And so I think there's probably in the mundane, we almost lull ourselves to false security, lull ourselves to sleep almost, or into slumber.
How do you think we reverse that? Like, how do we understand that power more or understand the privilege more, either one, to help us want to pray more?
I don't know. So I think we've talked about it on here. I know I've talked about it in our life group, but I have a window in my bathroom. Have I talked to you about that? And
I mean, I don't know if we've said it on the show, but I've heard about it. Yeah.
So out of that window, I can see the sunrise every single morning, right? Like even now, I open the window, it's dark out because I know sunrise is coming. And it's a conversation between God and I about the mercies of yesterday and the new mercies of today. Mm. And it's become this rhythm and ritual for me as I brush my teeth, which I'm noticing some days I brush my teeth extra long because I just kind of drift off into this conversation with God. But at the end of it, what I try and do is just frame myself back up to God. Everything in my day is yours. Mm. And that for me is such a pivotal, that's before. So I'm one of these people, I know everybody's different, but for me, I get up and I have to brush my teeth. I can't not do it. Like it's just this thing that I'm like, it feels so, I can smell my own breath, whatever it is. And so for me, it's this, I have to brush my teeth, and it's become this ritual. So essentially the first thing of my day, before I get on my phone, is this conversation about the mercies of yesterday and the mercies of today. And that helps remind me of my need, that I need them today. Right. And so I think the way we reverse it is, it's not just the morning. I'm finding I need and we'll talk about this in the new year, that in the collection we're going to do in January, but the need of, I need reminders throughout my day, just like what the new mercies of the morning have become. And that's, I think for me, that's the only way I know how to reverse it, is I have to have these moments where I'm like, oh, that's who I am. That's who God is. I need to tap back in.
Yeah, that's good. Well, one of the things that Pastor Ben talked about is the practical nature of prayer and how you actually do it. And one of the opportunities we have is like what we've been talking about leading up to Christmas. If Advent is preparation for Christmas, then who's in your circle? Praying for the people in your circle. And that's specifically what we hit on, and then to ruin it all for everyone because they don't know what's coming, it's invite for those people in your circle. And that's coming. So, how does our prayer change if someone comes to Christmas or not? Like, yeah, we can pray for these people, but like, they're going to come or they're not going to come based on our invite or what? Like, how does prayer actually even play a role in that?
Yeah, I think Pastor Ben at the end of his, I thought the the moment this week where we slowed down to practice, I think that's something that if you're listening to this and you attend the Heights fam, like that's something that's going to grow within our gatherings, is if we talk about something, we're going to practice it. Because I think we move so quick through life that we just bounce to the next thing, right? Like we leave that room and you're in a conversation and you're fully engaged with that person because they need that conversation with you, or you're talking about F1, right? Like it could be important or not. And by the time you're done, it's like, so with that, I thought what he did at the beginning, his first point of praying for those people is that God would draw them. And I think we underestimate that, right? That God has to be the one to move in the heart of somebody.
Yeah.
It has to be the one that maybe it's a softening of the heart so that when they receive your personal handwritten invitation, God's already softened them to read your words in a different tone, right? Like, maybe it's a shift of the heart because they're so opposed to, right? That shift of heart that God does that you don't see, but you were praying for, that could be a 5-year journey for all you know. Yeah. But you're just praying because you know what's coming in a few weeks. And God's like, I've been working on it for their whole life, right? Like for this moment, which is back to your thing from week 1 of for such a time as this, right? You don't know.
Right.
And so I think the power of prayer in changing, I think to me, that's where we're asking God and we're relying on God to do the work. And it takes it off of, I'm going to do a personal invite. So I'm the hero in the story.
Yeah.
Right. Like it shifts that posture in me, but also recognizing that God's got to do the work, that this is on him, not me. And then if they reject you, they're not rejecting you. You can sit back and go, this is a rejection of God and what he's doing. And God doesn't have him at that point. And I can rest then because then I don't have to take it personal.
Yeah, you don't have to take it personal there. Well, man, such a good reminder of prayer.
But 8 out of 10 are waiting.
They're waiting. Yeah, they're waiting. Such a good reminder of that. And again, super excited for Christmas. And as we build up to Christmas, what it looks like to get those people in your circle to hopefully come hear some good news would be awesome, would be the point. So, okay. Last question of the podcast. Last question of 2025.
Last question.
Last question. Here we go. A little bit more of a heavy hitter here as we finish out the year with this question. Anonymous asks this: how do faith and mental health, specifically anxiety and depression, intersect? Like, do I just not have enough faith is what they're saying. Struggling with mental health. How do faith and mental health intersect? Do I just not have enough faith?
Wow. So I don't want to, like, I've walked with people that mental health is very, very real for them. Mm-hmm. And so I think, to your point, that it's not a light question, because those that are really struggling with anxiety and depression, today may be their day. Today may be yours as you're listening to this, where you're like, I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. The tunnel's closing in today. And so just acknowledging, like, there are things that that I've seen that are out of control, that it's not an issue of faith. It's an issue of I really do have things broken inside my body that cannot reconcile. Now, God can heal, right? Like back to the power of prayer. God can heal. And so with that, like, we're not diminishing God's healing and praying for healing and relying on God to heal. At the same time, like, acknowledging that healing may come through medical help, right? Like, so to just take this question and throw it solely into if I had faith, I would be healed. Mm-hmm. That to me doesn't reconcile what I read on the pages of Scripture, right? That now puts it in a work in my camp that I just need to have and muster up enough faith, and this would go away. So therefore, when it doesn't go away,
it's your fault.
I beat myself up, right? Like, I now, and in a mental health state, what happens is, and I don't want to speak like I understand mental health. I'm not in any way qualified to even talk about it, other than through faith and experience. And so I think within the mental health thing, if you're struggling with anxiety and depression and you don't feel like you have enough faith, that just increases the anxiety, right? Like, that increases the depression side. And so I think being really careful to go, okay, I can have faith and be battling mental health. Like, those aren't an either or, they're an and together. And so with that, then I think the way it intersects is, because there's verses that say, do not be anxious, right? Like Philippians and everything, through prayer and supplication, make your request known to God. Okay, that sounds great. And the peace that transcends all understanding, I have seen people earnestly pray that and still struggle with anxiety and depression, right? I've seen people in full faith have others pray that over them. I've seen them read that verse and beat themselves up for being anxious. And so with that, I would say that the journey of mental health is a long one. You didn't get here in a day. It's not going to be magic unless God miraculously heals, which He can.
Which He can.
It's going to be a journey of faith. And what a journey of faith is, can I trust God to do the work today? And so where I would say faith and mental health intersect is, what am I doing to grow my faith that will help me have tools to step into those moments when they happen? So an example would be, I read the verse, trust in the Lord with all your heart, right? Like, lean not on your own understanding. So trust in the Lord. What does it look like for me to take using prayer to take my anxiety to God? Mm-hmm. What does it look like for me to, if depression and only being able to see the negative is how my brain is functioning, then taking a very practical tool of gratitude, right? Like that I take gratitude, and I go and I sit with God and I go, God, thank you for this today. Thank you for this today. Thank you for the goodness of this. God, I see, or however you word it, right? Like I see your goodness in this spiraling.
Yeah.
And so I think within that, there's where faith intercedes is, yes, prayer's still involved. Yes, you're trusting God for healing. Yes, all of that is true. And I'm also taking these tools, and some of those come from counseling, going and sitting with a counselor that can put practical. Some of it is you need to read people's journeys that have been through it, and how did they intersect faith? Like, and it comes down to, you got to do the work too, right? Like there's breathing exercise. I just was reading a book where it talks about box breathing with prayer, right? Like that one of the ways that this guy who wrote the book had panic attacks, and anxiety was crippling his life. And so it was, for him, breathing was the starting point. I got to control my breathing. So within that, then he started to connect he called it, and it's familiar, I guess, box breathing. And then you do it with a prayer, right? And so as you breathe, you're now praying. And he's got testimony of what that did for his anxiety, how that calmed him down, how that brought him back from the ledge. And so I think I don't think faith is, well, I prayed and therefore I'm done. Yeah. I think it's, man, I'm praying and I'm trusting God, and I'm asking the new mercies thing, right? I'm asking him for mercy today.
Yeah.
And in the midst of that, mercy may come in the form of a tool that's very practical that I can do each and every time.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with all of that. I think, the question, do I just not have enough faith? Like, no, don't beat yourself up for that. However, I would encourage you, don't divorce the two. Mm-hmm. What I mean is, you can, like, yes, having faith and having depression and anxiety at the same time are very much possible, but please join them. Don't keep them separate, because a lot of times we go, well, this is just depression and anxiety, and this is who I am now. Like, if it's worth worrying about, it's worth praying about. And does that mean that it'll all go away? No. But if a lot of times when we have this anxiety, we just sit and worry and worry and worry and worry. Bring faith into it. Pray. Yeah. Like, if it's worth worrying about, it's worth praying about. Yeah. And, same thing when it comes to understanding what you're putting in your mind in those times, because a lot of times what we put in is what feeds what's inside. Yep. Man, are you in God's word? Are you positive, focusing on positive things? Yeah. Or are the shows and movies and music and everything else that you're pouring in driving you deeper into the anxiety and depression, or helping you combat it? Because it's not saying, man, faith is just going to take it away immediately. God can heal it. Yes, we believe that God can do that. But man, anytime you bring faith into the real life of the struggle, it gets better. I found myself just a couple of weeks ago in a place where I was like, man, I'm just not in a healthy place right now. And what I realized is that the overflow from spiritual unhealth had made its way into every other area. And it was that, like, hard to see good things when they were right in front of me, hard to be happy with things that were around me. So, borderline getting into maybe some depression, but it was like, man, I'm just not healthy spiritually. And when I am, it overflows into the other areas as well. So not saying that it is like, man, you just don't have enough faith, but don't separate your faith from your problem. Bring them together and see what God does.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love the, what was your line? Worry.
If it's worth worrying about, it's worth praying about.
That's worth writing down if you're listening. I think that's it, right? Like, so worry becomes the trigger. And what's the worry for? I'm gonna pray. Right. And I think those are the kind of things that when you keep short accounts of those, what happens is it allows you to use those now as a trigger to push me towards something healthy that will build my faith. So if I notice, hey, at night, the walls start to close in, right? Well, probably watching a show until you go to sleep isn't good for you, right? That may be fine for your roommate, may be fine for your spouse, whatever. For you, it's not healthy.
Yeah, or scrolling on
right? Or
Instagram,
scrolling, doom scrolling,
makes
right?
You go, I wish I had this. My life is so terrible. Like,
So I would say somebody else may be able to do that, and you just recognize, hey, this is my journey of brokenness, right? What that could be for you then is to be a trigger that actually the best thing for me is to meditate on verses like trust in the Lord, right? Like to meditate on be anxious for nothing, right? Like to go back and go, okay, his burden is light, like whatever it happens to be, and set your mind there before going to sleep so that you're doing something practical, but that's become, like you're saying, that becomes a trigger now to intersect my faith with whatever my struggle is, anxiety, depression, whatever it happens to be. And so I just think it's finding ways to do that. The other one is community. One of the best things I've seen is the accountability of community, so that when you are spiraling, your community pushes you back to faith, right? And so someone you can reach out to and go, hey, I am struggling. I don't know why. And what you know you're going to get from that person is a practical, have noticed you haven't done this lately. Yeah. I've noticed you skip group however many times, right? Like whatever it happens to be. Like I noticed you just separating yourself, and in isolation you spiral. Like, so, hey, let's hang out. Yeah. But call me, whatever it happens to be. So yeah, I think community plays a huge part in the health when it comes to mental health.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for submitting this question. I know this is a heavy one. It's probably a hard one to even ask. So I appreciate your vulnerability in asking this and submitting it. If you have a question that you would like for us to answer
in the new year,
in the new years, please submit those unedited.
We'll be smarter in 2026.
Hopefully we'll be smarter. But also we don't have any questions in the queue. We are done. So you have now 3 weeks to write in questions to stock us up for the new year. And then we will have questions for you there. We'll answer those questions.
So here's what's fun. As you go through your Christmas, listen to the conversations around you and write questions for us from the real life conversations.
Real life stuff. We love those.
Those would be the best
ones. I do want to say a special end of the year thank you to all of our viewers and listeners. The podcast has grown and gained traction and become what it has so much more
wild
in 2025. So this year has been amazing.
I showed you that picture, right, of the person that I know. They live in Phoenix, and they were in the top 5%.
Yeah, the Spotify wrap ups, and we're at the top of a lot of people's list. It's like, man, this is crazy. It's wild.
I saw the amount of minutes, and I'm like, what did we talk about?
Talk for that long. But thank you guys so much for being a viewer, listener, for being part of it. For supporting the show, writing in reviews, writing in questions, giving us Oreos. Amazing. I mean, literally all of it. Thank you so much gratitude to you guys for that. And hopefully 2026 next year is going to be just as awesome. So thank you guys for that. That's what I got for you today. Final thought here as we go in. What?
Into the podcast club.
Oh yeah, sorry. Gosh,
I was
trying to get a little sentimental here.
I felt it.
I forgot.
I felt it.
Yeah, I was in my feels too much, and I forgot the outline over here. If you made it this far, you're into the podcast club. There you go. For the last time in 2020.
Is it the last time ever? Beard? Are we cutting the buzzer sound? Does it need to become something else in 2026?
We're not. Stay tuned. Wow, we got to dream it up. Into the podcast club listeners, you are even better than the rest of the listeners that don't make it this far.
Because you are the clubbers.
Because you're the clubbers.
You told them last week.
Yeah, the clubbers. It reminds me of like when I was in Awanas growing up, the little cubbies. That's what I think of. Like you're the cubbies. You're the clubbies. That's good.
Awanas throwback.
Final thought for you today is this. If it's worth worrying about, it's worth praying about. Prayer is a tool that we have that brings us into God's throne room. We have access to the power of God. Don't let prayer be something that you set on the shelf and leave. Let it become an integral part of your life. And remember, prayer isn't just about praying for you. It's for praying for those around you as well. Love you guys. We'll see you.
Love you guys. Merry Christmas.